they still has the ability to hold on where he is. Even actually, you can talk about all the details of the story based on the games. Maybe it's nice that they don't make him the constant villain, but the same goes for his animator, who also doesn't have the ability. And also bring up that he has a shiny metagross in the animation. That is in regards to the Steven hashtag. Though I will say, if you guys want to go down in the comment section below what you thought about that match. They expect he has his metagross just like in the games, which can actually be fun. That's crazy. But the guy also has a bunch of development abilities, but things can buy differently than mine. Having so many Pokemon that evolve into metagross is a pretty big deal, even if it's just this true. For all of the vicious manga, he's pretty deadly. He also was able to eliminate his race. And if you haven't read the manga, I won't say what happens during this scenario exactly. But let's just say it comes at a tremendous cost. What the nature base is covering, I think it's quite easy to say Steven still is one of the strongest trainers around. Shocking, a champion that's strong. But how does he compare to other champions and top trainers? It feels like in the universe, he's supposed to be able to release T-plus decisions. But I don't think gameplay-wise, he matches up. He's definitely still the most well-rounded and challenging champions, but there's nothing too cheap or obnoxious about how he plays the play. Even with some heavy hitters, something about his team still feels rather humble, very much like Steven himself. That does make it surprising that Steven isn't a more featured character. You'd expect to see him in pretty much every region, considering how weak defining these rare species. And considering how rich he is, I don't think fans will be against seeing him make more recaps this year again. I mean, he's a handsome man that dresses well, maintains a down-to-earth personality, is an impressive champion. He easily has an excuse to be a weak religion people would want to have his character. You think Adrian will try to make the character role? Sure, he's made good appearances in other gens, but it's always felt so creepy. But maybe it's also good that he gets to be somewhat of his experience more. So, what do you think? Do you think Steven is as strong as I believe he is? As far as his battle strength goes, I think he feels like a little bit of a mystery sometimes. I still say he's one of the most powerful. Hey guys, and welcome back to a nice adventure in the best series. We've got an idea today that I wanted to play in motion for quite some time, and that's surrounding the national defense. Basically, this is the action the best team chosen by you, focusing on literally everything you're going to need to tear down the game. You generate a Pokemon at the start and has the ability to evolve new train evolutions without actually training. I'm calling this the national defense. For all Pokemon that exist, aside from legendaries are known. To explain it a little better, today we're going to be using Fire Red and Green. And thus we have access to all of the first 186 non-legendary Pokemon people. Since Pokemon in these games won't evolve if they're not in the random decks, we don't play this game with the national decks already in. But the jury is still out on whether or not all this can happen. So, hopefully you guys get it. You'll start out with all 6 Pokemon, and you'll have a guaranteed way to evolve. So that's let's just get it. This team will start off with Venus, serving as the best starter for us, and of course the best starter in Kanto no matter what. I couldn't imagine a Fire Red and Green team without it, so it was our natural start. We'll have this just go hell of a and that's all there really is to say about it, because you guys are definitely familiar with every other detail about it. So let's begin inside. This Venusaur set is the extremely sweet powder you can try to get your own. It's a very classic Venusaur set. The first 2 moves go together pretty well. Being learned at level 7 and 18, they're going to be a big part of being able to take down Pokemon. If you defeat a drain, you'll get it to be an arrow. and it'll provide another consistent way to feel David. Then finally, we have which will render the ATM, they can render the Giovanni for your fucking chip badge. It's a pretty simple mix-up, but simplicity can't be done, especially in the hands of a Pokemon like these. So next up, why don't we have our new progress? I mean, this game is all about the national decks and using some of the best Pokemon in the first 3 gens to create the ultimate set. So why not go with Blizzard? It's nice to have fire and fight alongside with Venusaur. Torchic will become a Blizzard game by level 6 with its insane attack stats. And considering how long it would take to actually get a good fire-type roll, this was just an addition to the team we couldn't pass over. If you have a problem with there being 2 starters on the team, I can. And I can assure you, this won't be the usual way to go about these teams. But for this case, since it's well within the rules, it just works. What is the case? Is it Flamethrower, Aerialist, and Rocks? Flamethrower is expecting out to get the Rocket Gate. To make sure that you get your hands on a case set, so basically you have a consistently strong firearm. Then we have Brick, which you can buy at the sell-out parties. That's a great thing to have relatively early. I can say that much. Then there's Aerialist. Well, yeah, it's one thing you can get on round 9. A nice hit of coverage that's worth having around. Finally, Rock Slide. I decided if we're going to always be starting these teams with level 6 Pokemon at level 5 in their most basic forms, why not act like they were bred? It makes sense to me. So your Torchic will have Rock Slide on it from the start, and that's a great thing to have early on. We'll round up the first half of the team with the Water Tech, completing our great Grass, Fire, Water trifecta. I had a lot of great options, but I settled in one in particular. It's just that good. Considering we don't need to worry about trading to all of it, and the fact that it just made too much sense to take this. Like I said, I didn't want to put starters here just because of it. So for Alligator, take a little stick on my right up. So Kingdra will eventually be able to evolve the sea turtles. Whether that be by using a Dragon Scale as an evolution item, or hitting a set level like 40 or something. It all comes down to what type of program you use, the ultimate mechanics of the Fire Red movie. The Kingdra moveset today has Surf, Hydro Pump, Ice Speed, and Dragon. Surf and Hydro Pump were of course going to end up with both their power and practical needs. So don't be too surprised to see that. The Surf HM is a deep in Safari, and Hydro Pump is one of the elements. Then we have Ice Speed, which can be brought in a rocket game corner just like Flame. And the Dragon Breath is an agent that will start off with 100%. So you'll see, this is a pretty fantastic movie.
I thought I wanted this kind of life, but I never imagined it.
Not bad for a Pokemon with big standing by people. So next up is a controversial game, especially considering what I've done in the past. I chose Gardevoir here, but I could have just as easily chosen Power, going power over everything. However, since I was looking for Gardevoir to do one thing in particular, it made more sense to me. It has been well documented here on this channel how ridiculous I find it that Alakazam can't run. And I wanted a very strong special attacker here that specifically used that too, but not as its main source of attack. It made a lot of sense that point to go in front, which you'll have after getting your rolls flowing. We can argue plenty when the video is over the content. But due to the way the team is being built and what I'm looking for, you gotta give it to Gardevoir over Alakazam. Psychic, Thunderbolt, Calm Mind, make up our Gardevoir moveset today, making use of a true lack of a physical special split at the end there, as you can tell. Psychic is learned at level 26, which is really awesome, and then Thunderbolt is a TM. It follows the same method as Ice Speed and Flamethrower as a Rocket Gate class. So I would say that Calm Mind is learned at level 21, and finally, is done at Moon as a TM, being a special move in the 3rd gen, and giving Gardevoir some nice coverage for those types. It's well worth including, even if it isn't a super strong move at all. It's just the right amount of coverage. Next up, we look to Old Reliable. my good friend Snorlax. It's never done me wrong, and starting off with it from the beginning of a playthrough sounded too good to pass up. It's got 110 base attack, and it can take some special hits. It's definitely going to be coming through clutch in at least half of the gym battles. I know some of you get sick of always seeing Snorlax taking Squanto, but all I can say is this: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Snorlax is the guy, and he's got a place on almost any team I can offer. So this Snorlax moveset is Strength, Body Slam, Shadow Ball, and Toxic. Strength and Body Slam are just great stab moves. They'll work together to cause big damage while not being super effective to really hit. Strength you'll get if you get the Warden Active Volt for this card, and then Body Slam is one of the elements of 3. Then you have Shadow Ball, another game with a physical special split that helps one of our Pokemon out. Shadow Ball will be invisible, and gives Snorlax a way to fight back against those types that its normal type moves can't play. You'll have to, of course, buy it from the Rocket Game Corner, which should come as no surprise at this point. Finally, we have the reward for beating Koga, the TM for Toxic, so that Snorlax can feasibly do some damage to anything, even if it is passive. This is a bit different from the usual Snorlax movesets, but it works very nicely. So, for the last Pokemon on this team, I was looking for a flying type. And there were a few options for me to go with, but there was only one that really stood out above the rest. I didn't choose Pidgeot or Noctowl or Swallow. Instead, I went with the Great Stalker. It is easily one of the best flying types in the first few gens, even for a playthrough. And I just knew it would fit with the game and with the rest of the team very well. I know you guys think this is a real big ring play button, so please hold your applause. Its awesome physical defense makes it a great complementary piece to Snorlax with its special defense. And all in all, its typing was just so unique, and I had to use it. So let's see those moves. Finally, we have Fly, Drill Peck, Stealing, and Return. Fly is the action you get outside of Celadon City, but Drill Peck is what's more important to have. It's going to be another big one. So be happy you got those going on this team. Stealing is next, learned element 2. And finally, the Return TM is obtained on round 12. I figured it would be a good one to include on here, strictly because of how much I am sure you'll be using Starline and Drill Peck from the outset. That thing is going to love it. So we've got the whole team laid out. But how long does it do? Well, we've got the Venusaur line that can handle all of Brock's team. Venusaur line again, which can handle Misty Swarm. A combined effort from Venusaur and Blitzbait can take down Lieutenant Surgeon. And the main combo of Skarmory, Gardevoir, Blaziken, and Kingdra will easily get the drop on your turn. Next, if you go and take on Koga, you'll be able to take him down with Guardian Venusaur with a little help from Skarmory, followed by Sabrina, that Snorlax can easily take down with a few options from Venomoth as well. Then, with Wayne, you'll rely heavily on Kingdra on this team. There's no need to escape. Finally, all your important battles in Giovanni will be the Kingdra show with a little cameo by Blaziken and perhaps Innocent. As for the Elite Four, you'll be able to use Guardian's electric techniques to cause a big scare for Laura, and Blaziken can sweep up any of the ice types that aren't as effective. Bruno is all but handled by Skarmory alone, but there are other options. And then Agatha is handled by Gardevoir second with no problem. Finally, the former champion Rose is soloed by Kingdra, and Blue's entire team is covered by Snorlax, Gardevoir, and it's really not going to be hard at all for the team. So that's it. The best team for Fire Red League Grid National Expedition. I love this team and I love the site. It's very similar to No Restrictions, except we're trading away these legendaries for getting everything at the start and being able to make just massively great teams. Let me know what you guys thought about this. And if you're as excited as I am for more teams in the future, I'll be on the lookout for your feedback. Welcome back to the outro, folks, your favorite part of the video. Thank you for enjoying another Mystic Unreal video. We made it through the end of the 8th generation, and now we begin the long trek in the late 20th minute, but we still gotta catch them all. However, there's still a ton of videos to do and experiences to have until then. If you're interested in more Mystic content, check out my TikTok and the Mystic Unreal Shorts YouTube channel. If you get the 10K followers on TikTok, I'll be doing the viewer's choice video. If you want to get your impact, check out believe is
you know, it had to be done. We had to jump into the Buffalo Sabres here with the talks between the Eichel camp and the Sabres eating up to what they are. Goodness gracious, man. He's just, at this point, demanding, airing the dirty laundry of the Buffalo Sabres, and it is just not pretty what's going on over there. So I was thinking about how to do this series, because obviously the draft has happened, free agency has happened, there's been tons of moves that happened. However, there's not going to be a new roster update. To try to make the custom rosters doesn't really make sense because you're still starting in the past. I thought, okay, well, what if I did that thing where I add the expansion team and then choose to not, move all the contracts forward, so technically all the contracts would be correct when we started, but then it's the problem of getting the Kraken to draft a similar team to what they drafted and then make moves and draft people. It just there wasn't any great solution to make it as close to kind of what happened here in real life. So we're going to have to kind of do what we did with the Oilers and go back in time. We're going to use Rick's portal gun here. We're going to step back in time. Now, when the time comes, I will make a lot of these trades, at least to the teams that they're trading to. Like, I'll trade Bristow to Philly, probably. I might get a bigger package back, and probably trade Nylander to Florida. But all the other stuff, I can't really help, right? You can't make people sign people. And quite frankly, with the custom roster deletion thing, I'm not going to spend hours upon hours trying to get the moves right and just see contracts and shit just for them to possibly be deleted. So we're going to kind of go this route here and change a bit of history. Now, you guys can help me decide what we do in that regard, whether we just kind of sit through this entire year and make trades or just start blowing shit up right now. I don't know. We have a few options here. But I don't even know if we can make some of these trades, but anyway, don't get out of here. We're going to check a look at this. We're also going to see if we need to make some changes to overalls here. Good God, this team. Oh, at least we know they'll be absolute shite to sim. Well, you say that. So, what the rule is essentially, we have to, okay, I should address that. I thought I made that clear, but we have to trade Jack Eichel, obviously. He's demanding a trade, we have to trade Jack Eichel. So, again, we'll probably trade him, after the draft of next year at some point. And basically, we're going to sit through this first year with probably nothing really changed. That's what I'm thinking right now, unless you guys just want to go balls to the wall and start blowing it up right now and completely change history in that way. That's what I'll leave to you. Because this is such a weird situation, I wanted to get a bit of your guys' opinions. And obviously, me, this whole mark will be I hate to let this guy go, but I might actually, maybe trade with Boston. Sign an extension and trade with Boston. I can do that. So I can at least make it partially realistic by making some trades. Like, I could sign this guy to a 4x5 deal and then trade him to Boston. You do that with Olmark and all this other stuff. I could play Skinner on the top line, baby. We're going to do it. Try to get Skinner some fucking stat growth and trade him. I still cannot believe it. He signed for that. I still can't believe he got that contract. Granted, he had a great season, but holy shit. Oh boy. Well, at the very least, this guy's going to keep us over the cap floor, right? And then we can just keep trying to get him stack growth until we're able to move that freaking contract. If we even are able to move it. So basically what had happened, Bristolainen was traded to Philly for like the first, I forget exactly the package, I'll have to look it up. Reinhardt I know was traded to Florida for, I think, just a first. Which on paper here is pretty accurate. In real life, I feel like you could have got like a prospect back as well, but you're in Buffalo's position. Everyone knows you gotta sell. Everyone's gonna lower their price on you, especially now with I can't believe it, man. There's no team that handled this more poorly than Buffalo, and I'm so sorry, Buffalo fans. Like, this is Jack Eichel, the man drafted behind Connor McDavid, and he hasn't even made the playoffs. Granted, McDavid isn't having a greater time either. That Edmonton roster is, woof, I can't believe it. Ken Holland is, why can't they get a good GM? Seriously. Anyway, all right, so let's take a look at the prospect. I mean, they got to have some good stuff here, right? Well, the shit they've...
Summer. It's the time to pass on a family recipe, to share a table or two with friends. Because when the grill's fired up, it's time to gather around.
Enjoy your trip no matter what.
What? Is it? Where's prospects? For real? Oh yeah, we got UPL. That's who the heck are your I guess Cousins and stuff. That's kind of all up here. Yeah, okay. Cousins. I don't want to play him. Not in the NHL. Yeah, let's start that thing with it all. Let's send his ass down. So yeah, middle stat. Jesus, like all of these tenuous positions, I'll probably play a lot of them down. We'll probably do a lot of interesting stuff here. But yeah, taking a look here, what kind of changes, if any, do we make roster-wise? I will admit that I'm not super educated on Buffalo, especially. I prefer not to torture myself by paying attention to this team. It's just honestly starting to feel more. Remember, Curtis is like a top 10 pick. Oh, they're not quite working so well still. More winners. First 15 picks of the draft. That's cool. I mean, they got some not bad stuff here. But any changes that I don't know. I'm nothing's jumping out at me to make any potential or overall changes, really. Again, I'm not going to pretend I know a whole hell of a lot. So don't tell me you should be like the leader. I know the word you because he was 29th overall. He's actually lucky to be a top 4 with the way EA does their drafts. So that's something I do kind of do. When I am changing my potential or adding, and so forth. In the past at least, I will base their potential on scouting reports and then where they're drafted and kind of cross that with how EA generates the majority of the draft. So like the guys like, behind the top 10, I'm not going to make him a leader. I'm simply not going to, because that's the people who show up beyond the top 10 most of the time, unless it's very, very rare, even after the top 5 for the most part, but top 6 is top 4, right? So that's kind of what I do. So make your requests essentially within reason, obviously. And I will make adjustments if necessary. One guy I'm not sure about is Reinhardt. I feel like he might be able to be a bit better, but I like where his offense is. Actually, that's good. Where it's at, like how much better do you make this guy? Maybe potentialize and change him immediately. Let's be real. He was a second overall pick. So you try to make them immediately, hoping they close, maybe a bit more. But I also wonder how much does that affect his trade value as well. It's like, you already maybe trading his price. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking at this kind of stuff. I don't really know. I don't know much about this Quinn guy. He was drafted in the top 10, however. And that's 20 draft picks, let's be real, the strongest. So top 6 maybe is good enough for him, especially how young he is. Can you really say he's going to be that much better? I don't know. I don't actually even remember the scouting report on him. So you guys are seeing these names here. Submit your requests for roster changes. I will do some slight editing here and there. Not too much, obviously, because of reasons mentioned, but I will take your opinions into account. if you're a Buffalo fan, we'll take your opinions with a bit more of a grain of salt, simply because not anything against you, it's just we do have a tendency to overrate our own prospect pools because we all want them to be great. So I'll prospect that. I'll actually try to hit up Jay Fresh and top down and see if I can get some analytics info on some of these guys. And by the way, if you guys have Twitter, number 1, follow me, assholes. Number 2, follow Jay Fresh Hockey and Top Down Hockey. Dude, great dudes and great on the analytics department, rating prospects and players and such. That is very awesome to follow this offense so far. Anyway, so there we go. I think I think we got defense easily. I definitely think he's got a pretty damn good ceiling. I mean, he's drafted a goalie drafted in the second round should be a guy who's listed as elite because he should become a number 1, in my opinion. Goalies drafted in that second round usually kind of make their way to number 1. Carolina nailed it. Why'd you trade him? Dumbasses. Fucking Carolina, dude. I can't believe what they did this offseason. Absolutely trash in so many ways. Alright, so Dolly, does he have an extension yet? That's actually something I'll have to look that up. I feel like he should. I don't remember him getting signed, but I also don't remember any talk around, like, why haven't they signed Dolly yet? No, to be fair, I mean, that probably news probably got pushed to the back of the Buffalo. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check. I'll have to check if to see there's a lot. I don't know. Anyway, so rules-wise, everything can be pretty similar here. If you're looking for a realistic GM mode, you have come to the right place. I add elements of realism here, but I will never, ever seek, until I do, seek to make a completely realistic franchise mode. Number 1, because everyone's definition of realism is completely different. Number 2, after 3 years, your idea of realism, no matter what it is, goes completely out the window. 3 years ago, could you imagine Jack Eichel being traded? No. Rewind the clock even more. 4 years ago, people were telling me, there's no way Montreal trades Max Pacioretty. Not a chance in the world, Sid. You're stupid. Guess what happened? Just, not a chance Carey Price will even be thinking about being moved. Well, they exposed him at the expansion draft. So, the thing is, it's that after a few years, what seems like a sure thing in the NHL right now simply doesn't matter. 3 years ago, Erik Karlsson, best defenseman in the NHL. Right now, not worth the $11.5 million he's making. Not even close, unless he starts to have a resurgence. Right? So it's just the idea of realism. It's all well and good, but you cannot predict what will happen in a couple of years' time. You simply cannot. Right? So